You know, it's kind of incredible. This time, 40 years ago, my ordination was occurring at St. Bernard's Catholic Church in Alpena. I am very grateful to have all of you here to help me celebrate this anniversary. You know, about 2 years before I was ordained, my folks gave me a great gift. It was a plaque, and on it was written a reflection about the meaning of a priest's life. It was written by Father Lacordaire many years ago. It is entitled, "You Are a Priest Forever." I would like to begin my homily this morning by reading that reflection to you. It goes like this. To live in the midst of the world without wishing its pleasures, to be a member of each family, yet belonging to none, to share all sufferings, to penetrate all secrets, to heal all wounds, to go from people to God and offer God their prayers, to return from God to people, and to bring the people God's pardon and hope, to have a heart of fire for charity and a heart of bronze for chastity, to teach and pardon, console, and bless always. My God, what a life, and it is yours, O priest of Jesus Christ. For the past 40 years, I have lived that life, or at least tried to, and it will continue to be my life until the day I die. I agree with Father Lacordaire. What a life the life of a priest is. In many ways, I have found it to be a life of extremes. On the one hand, it is a life that is incredibly rewarding, to be a part of families at their happiest moments. But also, it is a life that requires significant sacrifice. It is a life filled with great joys, and at the same time, with some great disappointments and hurts. It is frequently a lonely life. But I have to tell you this, that God often fills up that loneliness with a consoling and strengthening sense of His presence. And that makes it all worthwhile, to have that experience of Him. So I celebrate my 40th anniversary this weekend. There's one thing that I know for certain, and that's this. God did create me to be a priest. That's why He gave me life. And I know if I had tried to be anything else, I would have been far less happy. What I feel today is what I felt on the day that I was ordained. I feel a deep sense of gratitude to God for calling me to the priesthood. And I also feel a deep sense of unworthiness because I know that there were so many other guys who were, smarter and better and more intelligent and more outgoing that God could have chosen. But instead, He called me. And that has been the greatest honor of my life. In John's Gospel, Jesus says, "Those of you who love me will do the work that I do." Over the years of my priesthood, I have tried to show the Lord my love for Him by doing His work and by being the best priest I could be. And I know that I have been a good priest, but I also know equally well that I haven't been the perfect priest, and you know that as well. But that's really not such a bad thing. Let me explain what I mean. If there's anything that I want you to remember from my homily this morning, it is this: never ask God for a perfect priest. Because you see, if God were to send you a perfect priest, a priest without weaknesses, such a priest wouldn't be able to understand your weaknesses. And I'll tell you this, all of you, from the 40 years of my ordination to the priesthood who are here this morning, all of you would have gotten far harder penances in the confessional than you got from me. In the end, what makes the life of a priest so rewarding is the love and the call of God, and the goodness and the love and the support of the people that God sends a priest to minister to. Over the past 40 years, all of you have been a part of my priesthood as family and friends and parishioners of the various churches that I have served. How very fortunate and blessed I have been to have had you in my life. Not every priest has been as blessed as I have. And today, especially, I want to thank you for your kindnesses to me and to let you know how much all of you mean to me and have meant to me over our years together. I can't find the words to adequately express what I want to say to you. All I can say is thanks from the bottom of my heart. In concluding my homily, I want to do so on an entertaining note. In every parish I have served, I've told this story. What you're looking at here is a picture of the house where I grew up, 403 June Street, Alpena. I was in Alpena this past week. I took the picture then. Anyway, one day, is my best friend, Larry Sanamore, and I were playing in the neighborhood. this guy comes up to us. He was a preacher, and he was starting a church a few blocks down the road. Here is the building he was using, and again, last week, recent picture. But this was the building, and he called it Gospel Tabernacle Hall. Today it's a salon. Anyway, he offered to give both to my best friend Larry and to myself 6 pencils if we would come to his church that Sunday and bring our parents. Well, I tell you, I grabbed those pencils and I ran home to show them to my mother, only to learn that she didn't exactly share my enthusiasm. She made me return them. That day, I learned an important lesson about what it is to be Catholic. And what it means is you don't accept pencils from preachers, and you don't go to their church. But here is the very best part. This past week, as I was up home, writing this homily and going through family pictures, I came across this one. Now, that's a picture of me and my best friend Larry Sanamore. I'm the tall, good-looking guy on this side, And, of course, my mother didn't want you to confuse that because, of course, the picture is, 60-some years old. But her writing there is Jim with an arrow pointed to me. Here's the thing. I had seen that picture so many times before. For some reason, I never turned it over. And when I turned it over, I found this is what my mother had written on it. Jim, age 4.5, the time he got the pencils. Amazing. At 4.5, I was quite willing to leave the Catholic Church for 6 pencils. Who would have ever guessed that day that I'd end up becoming a priest? God bless you.